Hello, world citizens. We're welcoming you for the first World Citizen Artist live stream. And for the first live stream, we have Aaron Nigel Smith as our very, very first guest. So, hi, Aaron.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thanks. And you?
I'm doing terrific. Thanks so much for having me.
So, we've met you for the first time. If I recall, it was at the Bob Marley birthday celebration. Where you were the ambassador for Bob Marley. So you're the Bob Marley ambassador. You're also a musician. You're an educator, and you're the One World Chorus founder. When do you sleep?
Yeah, very little actually. I find that I rise up and just get right to whatever project I'm working on in any given day, and I love the work that I do. So, I sleep when there's time. But yeah, it's a joy to be able to work with the youth in the world and to perform for people and to provide service through our nonprofit. It's a real joy, and I take a lot of pride and enjoyment in it.
And how does it work during these times with the lockdown? Are you in lockdown at the moment? Or?
Yeah. I'm in court. This is my home studio here, actually, and yeah, I haven't left much for the past 2 months. It's been definitely a different experience. It's been very challenging to. I'm normally rise up, and I'm out the door, and then I come home at dinner time, basically, after all my meetings and classes and whatnot. So to be really stationary for such a long period of time is it's really difficult for me, to be honest. And it's been a great time for growth and a time for me practicing patience and turning inside and really getting in some a lot of more family time that I had usually do and a lot more time for contemplation and planning. So there's definitely some wins in it as well as the challenges in it.
So you said family time. You
That's right. Yeah, I've got two wonderful
wow.
sons, and I've been married for 20 years, so 21 years coming up here. And yeah, it's wonderful to be surrounded by that love, especially in a time of crisis like this.
So how does it take for you to be so organized? Because I hear a lot of musicians who mention how busy they are, and but you've got like 4 or 5 activities. How you must have like a real discipline to keep that on.
I try. It's definitely I can be a little bit scattered at times, and I do my best to just to organize my projects and have specific goals based around each project, and then I try and check in with those goals periodically throughout the weeks and months and years, and to try and keep myself on target, because it definitely is easy when you have a lot of creativity flowing to just plant lots of seeds all over the place, and then they start to grow, but you can't really manage the garden anymore because it's out of control. So definitely organization is key. I do my best to have a strategy for organization that works for me and my brain, and I think every artist has a way of organizing themselves that works for them specifically.
Your music is all about solidarity, love, unity. So, what made you? What was your first experience to make you want to go towards this direction?
You know, I've been a musician as long as I can remember. I've been singing. I started at an early age in a choir, actually a boy choir, in a school that was a boy choir school, and an Interlochen Arts Academy, which is a high school for performing arts. So I've had and Manhattan School of Music for college. So I've had a great discipline and a great structure around music for my entire life, to be honest. When it came to creating my own music, one of my biggest inspirations was, kind of learning how to get out of that very strict and stringent kind of classical music world and to learn how to free up myself. And so I explored reggae music and learned about Bob Marley and learned about, Afro-Cuban rhythms and all types of things that have influenced me over the years. So I think my introduction to wanting to create my own music was, to be honest, through the music of Bob Marley. That's how I learned how to play guitar, just listening to Marley tunes, and as I learned more about Rastafari and reggae music and all the wealth of knowledge there, it continued to influence my both my music and my message. I really wanted to. I see that there's so much conflict and so much inequity around the world, and so I've made taken it upon myself to try and share messages of unity, messages of hope, messages of light, to the masses that are will hear this music. I've done a lot of work with youth, to be honest. Most of my music is for children, and so that's where I've done the foundational work to leave a legacy of love and light and hope for the youth of the world, because I believe that that's where it all really begins.
Wow. Is there any song that you could start with to warm up the audience and promote some solidarity to start with?
I would love to. Yeah, let's sing. I like to sing a song actually called One. And it's off an album entitled One that I released a few years back with my brethren Juba from Dubtonic Crew. So yeah, One. And I think it definitely ties into the message of unity and solidarity. Yeah. Hope you enjoy. Well, it's not too high to count, and it's not too many miles, and it's not too many dollars, and it's not too many smiles. If it's just one, we can help along the way to have a beautiful day. One woman, one man, one boy, one girl. Yeah, if it's just one life that we can change to up to have a better day. One love to share with all the world. Yeah, if it's just one. Oh yeah, if it's just one. Yeah, one love to share with all the world. Yeah. Well, it's not too many drums, and it's not too many gongs, and it's not too many dreams, and it's not too many songs. If it's just one, yeah, if it's just one, whoa, one woman, one man, one boy, one girl, yeah. If it's just one, yeah. If it's just one, whoa, one love to share with all the world. Yeah. Not too many mountains, and it's not too many stars, and it's not too many lives to touch, and not too many hearts. Whoa. Well, are you big enough to help today? Then put one finger in the sky, reach really, really high and say, yeah, yeah, yeah. If it's just one, if it's just one, whoa, one woman, one man, one boy, one girl, yeah. If it's just one life that we can change to see a better day, one love to share with all the world, yeah. If it's just one. Yeah, if it is one, whoa, one love to share with all the world. Yeah, man, unity.
Thanks, Aaron. That's beautiful.
Thanks
so do you imagine one day we will be one world?
That's a tough question and a great question. I think I wouldn't sing these songs and I wouldn't have the hope that I have if that wasn't the aspiration. So yeah, I'm gonna say I believe that we can learn as a community to love each other and to work with each other and to share our resources. I believe that, in all honesty, it's our youth that really have the potential to right the ship, if you will, and to set us on the right trajectory. It seems that the youth that are coming up now are they're not going to accept the status quo. They seem to want to drive things in the right direction. So I am hopeful that our youth can rise to the challenge of bringing this planet a little closer together.
Shall we go to the next one?
Yeah, let's sing another song. Let's sing another song.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sang one. Let's sing a song called "More Love," actually, which is from the most an album I did last year. Actually, released this album in our America, really to try and talk about, reflect on our country and the country that I live in at this time, and the kind of the. It was really after the election, to be honest, that this song came out in the hopes that we would find a way to bring it all back together. So more love, yeah. My granny used to tell me a long time ago, boy, you better straighten your face. Life is tough, and as we grow, there's struggles along the way. Said the same thing to my sons. Funny, some things don't change. No, no, must be a better way. Listen to your heart say. More love to my family, more love in a community, more love to the refugee, more love to the immigrant next to me. See, what we need is more love today, in every way. Come on, yeah. We need more love. Whoa, oh, oh, yeah. Whoa, oh, we need more love. Yes, we do. The other day, midday on the road, we squad they want check on we. He stopped the car like we're criminals. Guns drawn like them crazy. Well, hands up, don't shoot. We're talking to you. So road officer, don't play. No, no, no problem here. You can let us go on the way to a better day. More love to my family, more love in a community, more love to the refugee, more love to the immigrant next to we, yeah. See, what we need is more love today, every way, come on. Oh yeah, we need more love, yo. We need more love, yo. Whoa, whoa. Well, just a little more love today. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, yeah. Well, just a little more love in every way. Yeah. Whoa, oh. Well, just a little more love for you. Whoa, oh. Yeah, yeah. Well, just a little more love for you. Ooh, ooh, more love to my family. More love in the community. More love to the refugee, more love to the immigrant next to we, yeah, yeah. See, what we need is more love today in every way. Come on, oh yeah, we need more love, though. Oh, 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 more love, yeah, yeah, more love, yeah. More love, whoa, oh, 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 more love, yo. Yeah, man, more love every time, right?
God, we really need that now.
Yeah, indeed, indeed. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I actually think about the refugee situation at the moment because everyone is worried about their situation, but
Yeah.
there are also a lot of people stuck at borders in time of coronavirus, which is a beautiful song actually, where this is really needed at the moment. So when you compose your music, do
Mhm.
you think of the timeless part of it, or does it just come from the heart? And
I try to, I feel like I've got a song for really all aspects of my life when I think about it. So I try to document, I guess, my journey through song and our journey through song. And It is my hope that these messages will resonate and live on, through the years. And sometimes there's a message that's really specific to this moment, and so if it's not relevant 20 years or 30 years from now, at least it was said in the time that it was needed.
Do you think it's because we know that because humanity repeats itself, so maybe
Indeed.
that's
I mean,
why?
if you look at, I'm sorry, sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, no, go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, if you look at the music of Bob Marley, for instance, right now, I mean, the streams of Bob Marley have gone up like by I think like a billion or something crazy like that over the past since the coronavirus, pandemic, and so these messages can truly be timeless, and he's a wonderful demonstration of that.
So when you've decided to take your route with music, where you was it in your agenda, or you've discovered it over time?
I think I was really blessed to know what I wanted to do ever since I was about 10 years old.
Mhm.
I think mentioned earlier in the interview about a choir school that I went to, and it was quite intense, to be honest. It was a boarding school where you fly there, and it was in Princeton, New Jersey, and I lived at the school all year round, basically, except for winter break or spring break or whatever, and just studied music nonstop every day, and ended up, by the first 2 years at that school, I had performed at Carnegie Hall, sang at Lincoln Center, recorded with opera singers, and it really just shifted my whole vision. I'd come from Detroit, Michigan, and not the most stable family or financial situation, in all honesty, and so music, I saw that as a path that would lead me to security, stability, and fulfillment. And so ever since I was 10, I knew I wanted to be a musician. I didn't know how it would manifest, but I knew that that was what I wanted to do. So I've just been on this journey my whole life, to be honest, and I'm grateful to have known this whole time what I want to do, because a lot of us don't even know that, when we're 20, 30, 40, or 50.
And as a musician, you've got choice. You can take the commercial route, speak about sex and violence, or you can take the hard path in a way, which is promoting peace, solidarity, love, which is time. It tends to last longer. It's timeless, but when you're live, it can be a very hard path until people actually understand the message. Um, do you sometimes wish you had taken the other path, or are you happy with?
you know um No, I'm really grateful that I've stuck to my guns with this vision, and I'm not a rich man, and I have everything I need, and it's all been provided through music and through service. So I'm grateful for the path, and I wouldn't change it, to be honest. It's frustrating sometimes when you see accolades and riches and recognition thrown upon certain people. And that you have that same capability within you, and you have that same talent, and it's not being recognized in the same way. It can be frustrating and it can be disappointing. And I think if we, stick to the vision that we are here to fulfill, that we'll manifest what we're meant to manifest, and we need to learn how to rest in that and love ourselves enough to know that we're doing the best we can on this journey, and we're doing what we're meant to do on this journey.
And compared to many musicians, you've let's say you've you've had a lot of success. You've had a lot of opportunities that came your way, which a lot of musicians we know have the same talent, but wish they could go that far. What would be your advice to them?
I would say never. I know it sounds cliche, but do not give up, and do not give up on your vision. Don't stop working. Don't stop trying. Don't stop believing. Don't stop hoping. Um, and don't stop working, towards those goals. I think it's really important identify what it is that you're seeking and know within yourself what you have to offer, and to make those connections and to move through it. And you will fail. I have failed more than more than I can count, and I have countless successes, and so I think that we can learn a lot from our failures, and we just have to get up and dust ourselves off and take the lessons and move through it. And then I think also, as we rise, we have to learn to look behind us and put out a hand to help, to pull up someone that could use an assistance, could use your aid, could use your knowledge, could use your help, your belief, your wisdom. So I think, yeah, I would say just keep on, keep at it, and know that you can accomplish these things that you're meant to accomplish. It's most important to know what your vision is, though.
And at the moment, well, you're aware of it because you've been part of the past competition. We're running a competition which is a campaign for the Solidarity for All, to help people have the right messages to listen. We receive a lot of work, but there's a lot of work we receive. Either you have the quality, but the message is not strong enough, or we have a great message and the quality is not there yet. So how do you manage to combine both?
The quality and the message, is that the question? I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I got a little.
the quality and the message. That's
Yeah,
hard
that's
to get
important.
together.
I've learned to humble myself in this process of creation and be willing to write a whole song and scrap a whole song. And so I think, the art and the practice of revision really helps me to dial in my messages. I've written songs over, I think, 3, 4, 5 times until that message really resonates and really fits with the music and works in perfect harmony. So I think a lot of thought goes into it, or should go into it. Um, and a lot of effort needs to go into it. Sometimes, I would say for me, 1 out of every 10 songs I write, or 1 out of every 5 songs I write, something like that, it'll just come out in one sitting, and it'll be what it's meant to be, and I'll feel fulfilled and like it's right and it's great. And that's a real gift when the creative, flow is there. And you can't expect that every time. I think you've got to be willing to put in the work, and to humble yourself, to know that it doesn't always come out perfect the first time, and it's worth revisiting it and getting feedback from others that are in your circle, being willing to listen to that feedback and apply it, to the work.
How were the first feedback you received? Was it hard to take, or was it?
Ooh, first feedback. Let me think. I did what? Yeah, I think on my first album that is actually a buried relic right now, it was called Awakening, and it was an album I did, I think, in the 90s, or like 99 or something, or 2000 or something like that. It was a long, long time ago, regardless. And it didn't go anywhere, to be honest. I sent it to every label, and it actually had some pretty good label contacts at that point. And I sent it to labels in Europe, and labels in Asia, and labels in the US, and all over. And I was not able to get any distribution. I wasn't able to get, signed. I wasn't able to get anything done with that album, and I, basically sought feedback around that, and it was, the songs weren't that great. So it was, being willing to accept the fact that I was a novice songwriter. I was an ambitious songwriter, yet a novice songwriter, and I didn't put out some of the best songs then. It was hard to accept, and it motivated me to keep at the practice. And then my last album that I released, it's on a Tuff, Gong international record label, Bob Marley's label. It made its debut at #1 on the Billboard Reggae Charts. So to see that journey, from non-acceptance to some validation, was well worth it.
I bet.
Yeah.
So when and how do you do to because we've got now you're being produced by Tuff Gong, which is like one of the biggest places where you could dream of being produced. How did you do to make sure you stay humble, that it doesn't make you feel like at the top, or but just keep the quality and keep loving and keep speaking with the people you were speaking with before? A lot of people, once they get successful, that's it. It just, I mean, we've seen this with musicians sometimes, very occasionally, because we've got a nice crowd. But it has happened sometimes to see people that completely change because they think that that's it, they've made it. But you never really make it until the end, I would say.
Absolutely. No, that's it. I try to just humility is really key for me. I just try to maintain a sense of humility even through all the successes and all the accolades, to really find that place that, of knowing that I can always be better, and I can always strive to be even better, and there is no perfection in me. I can just strive for it. So I think for me, I'm lucky that I am able to come back to that space of humility and know that this is a lifelong learning journey for me. I don't think I know everything or anything yet. I'm just trying to grow into this space and into this planet, and give back in the best way that I can. So I think not being complacent is definitely been helpful for me, and the work ethic to just keep on driving. As soon as I can't even listen to my last album, to be honest. I don't even want to hear it, to be honest. I'm thinking about the next album after that and the next one after that. And I've had so much opportunity through my life, and I've seen, I've rocked for thousands of people, and then I've had, two or three people show up for my concert. So, and that will be within the same month or same week even sometimes. So there's no time for thinking that you've got it all figured out, at least in my perspective.
Mm. Yeah, the musician's life is it's a hard path,
Yeah,
but
it
I
is.
think it's worth it.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely worth it. It's absolutely worth it.
Yeah. You spoke earlier on about your last album. Well,
Yeah.
could you tell us a bit about it?
Yeah, the album I released last year was called In Our America, and it was really the first mainstream reggae album I released. I had done five children's albums with definitely with a reggae feel, more like a world music feel, but basically geared towards children. And so to come out of that space, it took a big creative risk for me, but I felt so motivated by the times and by the climate in the country specifically. And there was a sign that was being a yard sign that was created by a group called Nasty Women Get Stuff Done. And they created this yard sign that said, in our America, all people are equal and love wins and Black Lives Matter, and people with disabilities are respected. And it really went over all the things that would make us an equitable society, or put on that map and on that yard sign. So I kind of took the themes that were on that sign and wrote songs around those themes, and created an entire album called In Our America that reflected on the past sort of 3 to 4 years in our country, and around the world. I worked with Jubba White from Whitestone Productions and the Dubtonic Crew Band, and on production, and then we got distribution through Tuff Gong International for it. And it's been really wonderful to see how well that project was received.
Could we hear one song from this new album?
Well, yeah, absolutely. We'll sing that. I was gonna do a song that we released a new single too, just literally yesterday. And I want you to check that out. It's called Declaration of Rights. And it's with me featured. I'm featuring with the Mighty Diamonds, and it's a real cool song. And I think more appropriate for today, I'd like to play a song from that In Our America album, and it's called Vision. Say me no have no money, not a piece of land. Say me no have no security. Say me no have no riches in hand. So when I get up in the morning, I got to give thanks and praise. And then I'm back into the struggle, living day by day. But I got sunshine, and I got today, and I got the children's smiles to show me the way. And I got a vision, I got to light, and I got a feeling that everything will be alright. Oh yeah, so me no have no mommy, no battle, and me no have no granddaddy. So me no have no crew. Oh no, sometimes the night's so lonely until it's clear to see that I dwell in the house of love with my family, 'cause I got 2 strong sons and I got a loving wife. I got a granny who raised me, and sisters and brothers for life. And I got a vision, yeah, and I got to light. And I got this feeling that everything will be alright, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be alright, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be alright, yeah, yeah. Today, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh well, see me no have no peace, me no have no war, and me no have no equality now, and me no have no star, but I got love, oh yeah, and I got the song, and I got the theories of life, and the beat goes on, yeah, and I got a vision, and I got to lie, yeah, and I got this feeling that everything will be alright, yeah, yeah. It's gonna be alright, yeah. It's gonna be alright, yeah, yeah. Whoa, whoa. You know, everything will be alright.
Thank you. That's really what we need to hear right now.
Right on. Yeah, yeah. I kind of shifted directions through our dialogue. You know, I had another song in mind, but I think that was the one for the moment. So, yeah.
Do you have some inspiration right now for your next album? I bet you do.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a joy. What a joy. I'm so grateful for this time with you. Thanks so much for thinking of me for this interview.
Thank you very much for being with us. And everyone, just to remind you that we're currently running the Solidarity for All competition. Just remember to subscribe quickly, because we are closing in 2 weeks and we want our volunteers to be able to sleep in the last week. So please start to subscribe now. Thank you so much, Aaron. Thanks for your solidarity. And I'm sure we'll see you again.
I absolutely hope so. I know so, I'll say. And yeah, it's a real joy. Big up to all world citizens artists out there. And peace and love and peace.